Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we're diving into Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. First published in 2000 and now in its fifth edition, this book offers a clear and concise introduction to the fundamentals of economics. Designed for those without a prior background in economics, Sowell avoids complex jargon and explains essential concepts through accessible language and real-world examples. Basic Economics is a must-read for anyone curious about how economic principles influence everyday life, from savers interested in understanding what happens to their money in banks to individuals pondering the financing of infrastructure like dams and highways. Thomas Sowell, the author, is a renowned American economist and senior fellow at the Hoover Institution. He has been awarded the National Humanities Medal and is the author of over 45 books covering topics such as economics, politics, education, and race. His extensive experience and authoritative voice make Basic Economics a credible and insightful resource. Whether you're a beginner looking to grasp the basics or someone seeking to refresh your economic knowledge, this book provides valuable insights into the economic processes that shape our world. Join us as we break down and explore the key ideas from Basic Economics. Happy listening. Basic Economics, a common-sense guide to the economy. Introduction: Unpacking the essentials of economics. Why it matters to everyone. In the vast universe of knowledge, most of us are masters of one trade and novices in many others. There's a natural limit to how much we can learn and excel in, leaving realms like botany or Byzantine history to those who dedicate their lives to these fields. Typically, we are more than happy to let experts handle the intricacies of their specialties and inform us when necessary, a practical approach to knowledge sharing that usually serves us well. However, when it comes to economic policy, the stakes are decidedly different. The effects of economics ripple through every aspect of our daily lives, influencing everything from grocery prices to job prospects and even governmental policies. As consumers, employees, and voters, our actions play a direct role in the economic narrative of our communities and countries. Therefore, stepping back and leaving economics solely to the experts is not a viable option if we aspire to make informed decisions about our future. This is where Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics steps in. Sowell advocates that the principles of economics are accessible to everyone and can be understood with clear and concise explanation. This book acts as a crucial guide for those looking to grasp the foundational concepts of economics without getting buried in jargon or complex theories. Now, let's dive deep into the economic principles that affect us all, enhancing our understanding and preparing us to make better, more informed decisions in our everyday lives. Part 1. The Enduring Truths of Economics. Scarce Resources and Their Many Uses. Economic principles are not bound by time or societal structure. Whether you find yourself in the feudal era, navigating a socialist regime, or thriving in a capitalist society, the core concepts of economics remain the same. These universal principles are evident throughout history and across cultures, with consistent effects regardless of geographic or temporal setting. To delve into economics, we must first define an economy. Simply put, an economy is a system dedicated to the production and distribution of the goods and services needed in our daily lives. But there's a critical element often overlooked in this definition: scarcity. Imagine a place like the Garden of Eden, where everything needed is in abundant supply. Such a place, by economic standards, wouldn't qualify as an economy due to the absence of scarcity. Economics is the study of how societies use scarce resources, which have alternative potential uses, to meet competing needs. Scarcity implies that the sum of human desires surpasses the available resources, meaning not all needs can be met. This disparity is a universal constant, an intrinsic part of human history, regardless of the economic or political system in place. Whether in feudalism, socialism, or capitalism, it's all about making decisions on how to allocate these limited resources effectively. Let's consider production, a fundamental aspect of economics that goes beyond mere allocation of existing goods and delves into generating new goods from limited resources. Every economic resource, like water or petroleum, has multiple potential uses. Water can be turned into ice or steam, used in power plant cooling, or involved in dyeing fabrics. Petroleum might be transformed into gasoline, heating oil, plastic, asphalt, or even personal care items like Vaseline. Similarly, iron ore can become anything from paper clips to parts of automobiles. These multitudes of choices about resource usage are what ultimately determine a nation's standard of living. It's not just about having natural resources, it's how efficiently these resources are transformed into valuable outputs. For instance, despite having less natural wealth per capita than Uruguay, Japan enjoys a significantly higher per capita income due to its superior efficiency in converting resources into goods and services. This difference in production efficiency underscores a key point. Economies thrive not just on what they have, but on how well they use what they have. Efficient economies maximize output with minimal waste, extracting the most value from each unit of resource. In contrast, inefficiency in resource use can hold back an economy despite abundant natural wealth. Thus, when considering the economic strength and potential of a country, focus less on the monetary figures and more on the real-world commodities, the raw materials, and how effectively they are transformed into products needed by society. Economics, then, is not merely an abstract study of numbers and financial transactions, but a crucial examination of tangible resources and their optimal use for the benefit of all. Part 2. The Art of Investment. Sacrifices today for prosperity tomorrow. Imagine a tourist in New York's vibrant Greenwich Village paying a hefty $100 to a street artist for a quickly sketched portrait. To the tourist, the fee seems steep for merely 5 minutes of work. However, the artist offers a different perspective, highlighting 20 years of skill and experience condensed into that fleeting moment. This scenario perfectly illustrates an essential economic concept: the value of investment and the sacrifices it entails. Investment, in basic economic terms, is about forfeiting immediate gratification or resources to secure greater benefits in the future. The street artist, for instance, sacrificed countless hours over many years to hone her craft, foregoing other pursuits and possible earnings in different fields. This personal dedication to art is her investment, bearing fruit in her ability to command a premium price for a brief sketch. This concept of investment extends far beyond personal choices. It plays a pivotal role in shaping economies. When societies invest, they often sacrifice immediate production of consumer goods to develop infrastructure, factories, and technologies that underpin future economic growth. This process isn't without its trade-offs, commonly known as opportunity costs, the potential benefits that are foregone when choosing one option over another. For example, a nation focusing on industrial development may temporarily reduce the output of consumer products, channeling resources into building factories that will boost long-term economic output. Such strategic allocation of resources is crucial, but comes with inherent risks. The future is unpredictable, and not all investments yield the anticipated returns. Therefore, these risks must be balanced with potential rewards to encourage ongoing investment. The return on investment must be sufficiently enticing to justify the initial outlay. If, for instance, the market price for an artist's sketches falls too low, fewer individuals will be inclined to invest time and resources in acquiring similar skills. This principle applies broadly across various sectors. When oil prices plummet, for example, the financial incentive to explore new oil fields diminishes, leading to reduced investment in such ventures. The ultimate success of investments depends on consumer appreciation of these efforts. Specialization in fields with low demand means that resources have been inefficiently allocated, evident in poor pay and job scarcity. Market signals like these guide future investments, indicating more or less fruitful avenues. Even activities that seem removed from economic context, like organizing one's living space, can be seen as investments. Spending time tidying up today can save time tomorrow, making future tasks quicker and easier. Another instance of today's sacrifice paving the way for tomorrow's gains. Investment is fundamentally about embracing current sacrifices to build a more abundant and efficient future, whether through personal choices like education and career paths, or broader economic decisions that shape the prosperity of entire societies. Part 3: The pivotal role of financial institutions in economic growth. After examining the fundamentals of investment, it's crucial to understand how these investments are financed, particularly through the interplay of individual initiatives and institutional support. Individuals often invest directly by purchasing assets like corporate stocks, essentially offering capital to businesses in hopes of sharing in future profits. For instance, investing in a car company enables it to expand and innovate, potentially leading to profits for both the company and the investor. However, while this direct investment is significant, the bulk of investment financing is handled by financial institutions such as banks and pension funds. These institutions are essential because they aggregate smaller sums of money from numerous individuals, creating large pools of capital. This collective resource allows for major projects, like the construction of shipyards or the development of high-speed railways, that no single investor could support alone. Financial institutions are not only capable of funding large-scale ventures, but are also adept at evaluating the risks and rewards associated with these projects. This system does more than just fund big projects. It empowers individuals to manage their finances across their lifetimes, offering flexibility in how and when they consume. Consider the dynamics of borrowing and saving. When people borrow, they are essentially using their future income to finance current needs or desires, paying interest for the privilege. Conversely, when they save, they defer current consumption in exchange for future financial benefits, earning interest on their savings. Banks play a critical intermediary role here, channeling funds from savers to borrowers. Hence, an individual's money in a savings account supports other people's loans, whether for buying a home, financing education, or starting a business. Moreover, people's financial roles typically evolve over time. Young adults in places like the United States may find themselves as net debtors, grappling with student loans and building careers. As they age and their incomes grow, they often transition into net savers, accumulating wealth in preparation for retirement. These shifts between saving and borrowing aren't just personal financial strategies. They reflect broader economic operations. They demonstrate how societies allocate scarce resources with alternative uses. Large-scale investments in infrastructure, like hydropower plants or transportation networks, necessitate redirecting resources away from immediate consumption to projects that will pay off in the future. Why would a society opt to delay gratification and invest in future growth? The answer lies in the perceived value of these future benefits. Investments are made with the expectation that their long-term returns will outweigh the short-term sacrifices. If these conditions hold true, financial institutions can offer savers enough incentive through interest returns, motivating them to keep their money invested longer. In essence, financial institutions bridge individual financial management with macroeconomic growth, channeling personal savings into investments that boost the overall economy's capacity and well-being. Through this intricate dance of borrowing, saving, and investing, financial institutions not only support individual financial health but also underpin the broader economic development. Part 4: Navigating the complexities of risk with insurance. In our exploration of economic fundamentals, there's a concept we've brushed over but have yet to delve into deeply: risk. Understanding how risk is managed is crucial, and one of the most familiar ways of dealing with risk is through insurance. Insurance essentially involves the transfer of risk. When you purchase an insurance policy, you're essentially paying a company to take on the potential financial burden of unforeseen events, whether they're as mundane as a car accident or as destructive as a hurricane. This transfer of risk is at the heart of every insurance contract. In exchange for your premium payments, the insurance company agrees to cover certain costs if these events occur. Besides transferring risk, insurance companies also play a vital role in reducing risk through the practice of risk categorization. By assessing the risk levels of different groups, insurers can charge premiums that reflect the likelihood of a claim being made. Safe drivers, for example, typically face lower car insurance premiums than those with a history of accidents. This is because their risk of costing the insurer money is lower, and the premium is adjusted accordingly. One prominent type of insurance is life insurance, which addresses the ultimate inevitability: death. If everyone knew exactly when they would die, managing financial risks associated with death would be straightforward. There would be no uncertainty, and insurance would simply be a financial plan paying out at a predetermined time, much like a bond. However, because life is uncertain and we cannot predict our lifespan, life insurance becomes a critical tool for managing the financial ramifications of untimely death. Paying premiums to transfer this unpredictable risk to an insurance company can provide security for one's dependents or business partners. Beyond just collecting premiums and waiting for claims, insurance companies actively manage the pool of funds they accumulate. Typically, insurers pay out about 60% of their collected premiums on claims. The rest, after covering operational costs, is often invested in relatively conservative ventures like government securities. The returns from these investments can significantly bolster an insurer's financial health. Consider this scenario. Over 10 years, you pay a total of $9,000 in insurance premiums. If, in the 10th year, you incur $10,000 in damages, the insurer covers this claim. Initially, this might seem like a loss for the company. However, if the initial $9,000 in premiums has been wisely invested and grown to $12,000, the insurance company not only covers your claim but also profits by $2,000. This cyclical process of collecting premiums, paying out claims, and investing the remainder is how insurance companies manage risks and ensure their own financial stability while providing vital services to their policyholders. Through careful risk management and strategic financial planning, insurers bolster individual and collective security, tying the well-being of individuals closely to the broader stability of the economy. Final summary. Economics, often perceived as a realm dominated by complex charts and inscrutable formulas, is fundamentally about common sense. It revolves around understanding the incentives and consequences that drive decisions, making it accessible to everyone. In the landscape of everyday choices, prices serve as more than just numbers. They are crucial signals that reflect the underlying scarcity and value of resources. These price signals help guide resources towards their most efficient uses, anchoring the basic economic principle that nothing is merely arbitrary in this discipline. With a grasp of these concepts, you can start to make sense of broader economic policies and their impacts. Whether it's navigating local regulations, evaluating insurance options, or making savvy investment choices, understanding economic principles allows you to approach these decisions with confidence and knowledge. Empowered by this understanding, you can better navigate your role as a consumer within the economy, making choices that are informed by more than just price tags. This knowledge equips you to contribute thoughtfully to discussions about economic policies and their implications, ensuring that your decisions reflect both personal and communal benefits. Through this enlightened engagement, economics becomes not just a theoretical study, but a practical toolkit for making informed and responsible decisions in everyday life. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.